Mayor Scott Gillingham, Arlington Bridge sounds like it's going to be a lot cheaper than you thought it was going to be. Are we building this bridge?
Well, first of all, I want to commend our city staff. They did go back and take a look at how they could perhaps bring forward a report that sees the bridge get completed for less money. So, when innovation needs to happen, it can happen. I want to commend our staff for that. The challenge right now on the Arlington Bridge, though, is if we funded that Arlington Bridge by ourselves as a city, it would completely eat up the rest of our debt capacity. And so that's why we talk about the need for a new funding model for the province of Manitoba. This project also competes with, in a way, other important infrastructure projects, including the need to redo the St. James Bridge. And the St. James Bridge, of course, is on a major trade route and sees many more times the number of vehicles per day. So, we're going to have to look at those two projects kind of side by side as well. And so no decision yet, but good to see that the number for the cost has dropped.
But since it's gone down so much, there's this opportunity cost. Can you afford not to do it now that you've got a projection here of what you described as an innovative way to do it way more cheaply?
And that what you just say is exactly part of the discussion we'll have to have as a council, is to see which of these projects can be completed and how they can be done. With these projects, these big infrastructure projects, we really do look to the senior levels of government to participate and to invest in these projects as well. So lots yet to discuss, but good to see the numbers have come down.
What makes you think this government's going to cough up growth revenue after a year of saying not much on it, and your budget's coming out in a few weeks?
The Premier did commit to a new funding model, to talking to municipalities, working with municipalities for a new funding model. He made that commitment in the budget that they released this spring. I take him at his word. We have had good discussions. We haven't got to a resolution yet, but we've had good discussions, and I believe he's sincere in wanting to help municipalities find a new funding model.
One more on the bridge before the topic change?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
You asked all my questions.
Okay. I don't expect you to be able to speak in detail, but were you given a briefing about the incident last night or yesterday evening out of Unison?
Acting Chief Art Sander did give me a call that an incident had occurred at the Unicity Mall. He didn't have a shopping center. He didn't have all the details, but he did let me know that there had been an officer involved shooting. The independent investigation unit was taking over the case.
How concerned are you that we have another officer involved fatality, one that might be related to the theft initiative as well?
It's a tragedy when anyone dies, and anytime there's an officer involved shooting and someone loses their life, it's an absolute tragedy. My sincere condolences to the family of this individual, and my thoughts are also with the officer who was injured in this incident. And so, this is part of what's being looked at now by the independent investigation unit. I think it's really important that we do wait for the details of that report to come out. I echo what Acting Chief Standard said last night, that yes, there's some video circulating, but apparently it doesn't show the whole picture. So I think it's important that we all wait as a community to see what the details are that come out.
As you are aware, there is some cynicism about the IAU because of its limited powers. The number of people, number of times it actually rules against the police is a fairly small proportion. What would you say to people who would hear Acting Chief Standard's implorations to wait, and go, yeah, you know what, maybe I won't wait.
Not everyone's going to be able to be convinced. I understand that, but the independent investigation unit is established by the province of Manitoba. They are to present and go through these situations and provide an independent lens and analysis of this, and so I believe that will happen in this case.
Speaking about created by the province, some of your counterparts from other municipalities were just here to repeat that they'd love to see the municipal board powers ratchet back, or one Reeve said we'd like to see it gone altogether. Still promising that review. They can make real fast change on Plan 2050, but this is taking forever. So what's your take on this frustrations felt by yours and other municipalities with relation to the board?
Yeah, many of my colleagues as mayors and councillors across the province have the same challenges related to the municipal board. I do appreciate that the province has made some changes, one of them being the change related to the number of signatures that are required to get something to an appeal. So changes, I believe, are happening and are occurring, and we're looking forward to more coming.
And when could you expect to see those changes? Because again, they were really, really rapid in allowing. It was like former Minister Bush. It was like 1 week. No. The Winnipeg Metropolitan Region's great. Let's keep everything the same. Plan 2050 is awesome. Boom, their so-called Freedom Bill announced. All of a sudden, that changes. But this review seems to be going. What more do they need to hear? Who do they need to hear from, in your opinion?
Yeah, I don't know their timelines. Obviously, I would like to see it concluded faster rather than slower and as soon as possible. The City of Winnipeg, we did submit our suggested recommendations for amendments to that bill to make sure that we can get more development happening faster in the City of Winnipeg and not gum up the works. So ultimately, the municipal board, should not be in place to impede good development processes and progress, and so I hope that they take the City of Winnipeg, our recommendations seriously and implement them.
And I realize there's 7 weeks between the budget coming out on the 11th and the council vote on January 29th, but there's also Christmas in the way there, and government slows down to next to nothing. Do you really think we'll see some growth model announced between now and your signing off on the council voting on the final version of the budget?
I don't know what the answer to that. I'd like to. I'm the eternal optimist, but I don't know if we will or not. But ultimately, we continue to, and I've made the case to the Premier of Manitoba about our need for a new funding model, one that is growth oriented, one that assists municipalities in accommodating the growth that we've seen in our population and the need to continue to deliver city services to this growing population.
Can I just jump in there for a second?
Sure.
Just off of something, I apologize, Bart. Bart asked, you mentioned that the issues in rural Manitoba are similar to here in Winnipeg. Can you actually say that with a straight face? Because when I talk to mayors and reeves across northern and western Manitoba, they're saying you guys take up most of the conversation and they're left holding the scraps that Winnipeg has.
I've had conversations within the last couple of weeks with Mayor Jeff Fawcett of Brandon, Mayor Jacobson of Swan River, Mayor, it was more not as recent as that, but Mayor Smoot from Thompson. Every one of them is facing challenges of homelessness and addiction and crime associated with that. Yes, it's on a scale, it's per capita, I understand that, but some of these problems that are hitting our communities are alike across municipalities. Steinbach too, struggling with homelessness right now. And so there's a lot of similarities we have in our cities, even though Winnipeg is the largest city by a long shot in this province. We're facing similar challenges in some of our issues.
So you saw the list of resolutions that the delegates will be debating here. Are they the same issues that are here in Winnipeg as well? Because we're talking about photo radar, which is not in here. Yeah. So
some are and some are not. And I grew up on a farm, right? I'm a rural guy. I grew up that, so I can appreciate, I believe, some of the policy issues that are specifically rural and not like the city of Winnipeg. But we have a lot of the similar challenges. All of us, the city has been working with AMM to call for a new funding model from the province of Manitoba. We've been working with one voice. We all need that, and we continue to advocate for that together.
And along with advocating to the provincial government, you're also advocating on the federal level to the federal government. You're a member of the Big City Mayor Caucus, led by the London Mayor. I forget his name right now. Josh Morgan. Yeah. Has any work been happening on that file federally? Because they're going to be going into budget deliberations and possibly releasing a budget or potentially not releasing a budget.
Yes, the Big City Mayors, and I'm the vice chair of that with Mayor Morgan as the chair, we continue to advocate to the federal government and to the federal parties a need for a new growth deal, one that recognizes that as our cities grow in population and as we have a housing challenge and crisis across the nation, not only do we need funding for housing, but we need funding for all the growth-enabling infrastructure, the water pipes, the sewer pipes, the roads, the transit systems. All of those are required infrastructure investments that we need if we're going to accommodate the growth that we have. So we continue to advocate for that and make that case to the current federal government and to the federal parties as well.